The year was 1967. Deep inside Chevrolet's Detroit headquarters, a team of engineers huddled around a blueprint. Their mission? Create an engine so powerful it would redefine racing. The project was codenamed ZL1, and its heart was a radical idea, an all-aluminum 427 cubic inch V8. Aluminum engines were rare, risky, and expensive, but lead engineer Herb Fischel insisted, iron is for bridges. We're building lightning. The physics were clear. Aluminum weighs 165 pounds per cubic foot, while iron weighs 491 pounds per cubic foot. By swapping materials, the ZL1 shed 100 pounds 45 kilograms, boosting its power-to-weight ratio to 0.83 horsepower per pound, unmatched in its era. But aluminum had a dark side. Under extreme heat, it could warp, melt, or even crack. Fischel's team gambled, using aircraft-grade alloys and reinforced cylinder walls. When the first prototype was cast, the workshop fell silent. Mechanic Joe Freeman later wrote, "It glowed like a ghost under the garage lights. We knew it was special and dangerous." On a frosty morning in January 1968, test driver Mark Donohue slid into a modified Camaro housing the ZL1. The engineers warned him, "This engine doesn't breathe, it devours." Donohue smirked. Seconds later, the ZL1 roared to life, its exhaust note echoing like thunder. The numbers stunned everyone. 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.2 seconds, rivaling a 2020 Porsche 911. Top speed, 172 miles per hour, 277 kilometers per hour, limited only by tire technology. Torque, 450 pound-feet at 4,000 RPM, enough to twist the car's frame. But triumph turned to terror. During a high-speed run, the ZL1's temperature gauge spiked to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, 149 degrees Celsius. Aluminum's thermal conductivity, 237 watts per meter per Kelvin versus iron's 80 watts per meter per Kelvin, spread heat rapidly, melting the piston rings. Donohue radioed, voice shaking, "It's shaking apart! I'm pulling over, or it'll kill me." Back at the garage, Fischel stared at the smoking engine. "We've created a phoenix," he muttered. "It's glorious, until it burns itself to ash." By 1969, 3 ZL1 engines survived. Chevrolet entered them into the SCCA Trans Am series, disguising them as production models. Driver Jerry Thompson recalled, "The moment I hit the gas, the other cars looked like they were parked." The ZL1's dominance wasn't just raw power, it was physics, aerodynamics. The lightweight engine lowered the car's center of gravity, improving cornering grip by 18%. Fuel injection. A Rochester mechanical system sprayed 12 gallons per hour, creating explosive combustion, air-fuel ratio 12 to 1. But the ZL1's victories were Pyrrhic. During a race at Laguna Seca, Thompson's engine overheated, spewing molten aluminum onto the track. Officials flagged him mid-race, shouting, "This isn't a car, it's a flamethrower." Chevy's racing manager, Vince Piggins, defended the ZL1. "It's not cheating. It's evolution." But the SCCA disagreed. By 1970, Rulebook Section 4.12 banned non-ferrous engine blocks. The ZL1 was outlawed, not for breaking rules, but for rewriting them. In late 1969, a janitor at Chevrolet's Detroit plant stumbled upon a locked drawer labeled ZL1 Classified. Inside were blueprints so valuable, they were later called the Holy Grail of racing. The drawings revealed the engine's secret. Cross-bolted main caps, a design that stabilized the crankshaft under 7,000 RPM stress. But the blueprints vanished overnight. Rumors swirled. Had Ford spies stolen them? Or was it an inside job? Engineer Larry Shinoda confessed years later. "We burned most of them, but one set survived. We couldn't kill our own masterpiece. Technical details, cross-bolted design, reduced crankshaft flex by 40%, formula stress equals force over area. Real-world impact. This design is now standard in NASCAR and Formula One engines." While Chevy publicly abandoned the ZL1, a rogue team of mechanics modified Camaros with smuggled ZL1 parts. At the 1970 Daytona 500, driver Bobby Unser shocked the crowd by lapping rivals twice. His secret? a ZL1 crankshaft hidden inside a stock 396 engine block. Physics behind the cheat, crankshaft balance. The ZL1's forged steel crankshaft had a 10% higher harmonic dampening rate, reducing vibrations at 6,000 RPM. Detection risk. Officials measured engine displacement with water. Unser's team used silicone seals to mask the true size. But the triumph was short-lived. After Unser's win, NASCAR X-rayed his engine and found the ZL1 part. He was banned for life, screaming, "You're killing innovation." Why did racing regulators fear the ZL1? Physics. Aluminum blocks conducted heat so efficiently they created a thermal runaway effect. At 6,000 RPM, the engine's temperature rose exponentially, formula Q equals mc delta T, risking catastrophic meltdowns. In 1971, the U.S. Auto Club, USAC, published a report. The ZL1 isn't unstable, it's unpredictable. Its power defies control. They highlighted the 2024 T3 aluminum alloy used in the block, a material designed for jet wings, not cars. By 1972, the U.S. government pressured GM to erase the ZL1 from history. FBI agents seized prototypes, and engineers signed gag orders. But in a twist, GM secretly sold two ZL1 engines to a Saudi oil tycoon for $1 million each, enough money to fund their next project, the Corvette LT1. Technical details: LT1. Innovation: the ZL1's aluminum block design inspired the LT1's reverse flow cooling, which prioritized cylinder head cooling, critical for high RPM. Black market price. Today, surviving ZL1s sell for $3 to $5 million. In the 1980s, rumors spread of a ZL1 engine buried under GM's Milford Proving Grounds. Treasure hunters sneaked in at night, using metal detectors to scan for aluminum signatures. All found nothing until 1999, when a flood unearthed a corroded engine block stamped ZL1-009. Technical analysis, corrosion science, saltwater exposure created galvanic corrosion, aluminum versus steel bolts, dissolving 60% of the block. Forensic recovery, X-rays revealed the cross-bolted design, confirming its identity. Texas oil billionaire Clive Mason spent 30 years hunting ZL1 parts. In 2015, he paid $4.2 million for a piston and blueprint at a secret auction. "This isn't a hobby," he said. "It's a tribute to the engineers who dared to dream." Technical details. Piston metallurgy, the ZL. One's pistons used hyper-eutectic aluminum, which expanded less under heat. Coefficient, 21.4 micrometers per meter per Kelvin versus standard 23.6. 3D scanning. Mason used laser scans to recreate the engine, but admitted, "The soul is missing." In a 2003 documentary, retired ZL1 engineers gathered, their hands trembling as they sketched old designs. "We were naive," said Herb Fischel. "We thought power was the answer, but without control, power destroys." Physics lesson. Power versus control. The ZL1's 430 horsepower overwhelmed 1960s tire traction. Coefficient of friction, 0.7, causing spins. Modern tires, mu equals 1.1, could have tamed it. In 2020, YouTuber David Freiberger tried to rebuild the ZL1 using original blueprints. The result? A $500,000 engine that lasted 47 seconds before seizing. "Aluminum isn't the problem," he said. "It's the precision. Those 1969 engineers were wizards." Technical failure. Tolerance issues. Modern CNC machines have a plus or minus 0.001 inch margin. The ZL1 required plus or minus 0.0005, a standard lost with analog tools. In 2023, Clive Mason's rebuilt ZL1 roared to life at Bonneville Salt Flats. Engineers held their breath as the needle hit 7,000 RPM. Then, silence. The engine had vaporized its pistons, leaving a smoldering crater. Final physics, energy release. The combustion's energy, approximately equal to 1.2 gigajoules, equaled a small bomb. Legacy. The ZL1's design inspired the 2024 Corvette Z 06's LT6 engine, a 5.5-liter V8 with aluminum block.